gender wars stay loud in Black communities? Says this Instagrammer. Welcome back. On this channel, we talk about difficult talks, tough conversations, things that people aren't really talking about, or things that aren't being said from a truth biblical perspective. If this sounds like something that you're interested in, let's talk. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video and see what this young lady has to say. But honestly, I mean, the answer is so loud. It's deafening.
Please help me out. Please. How come we never hear about gender wars in other cultures? Like, none of my Indian homegirls be like, yeah, our men ask us to do XYZ and expect XYZ. None of my Italian homegirls. Yeah, like, why is that so big in the Black community? Somebody, I know y'all got the answer. Tell me, because I want to know. Please help me out.
This comment says, "It's crazy how when the convo about men and women's roles come up, it's always in the Black community that it turns into a war. Has anybody ever stopped to ask why that is?" Okay. Oh no, that's the creator that's saying that. And it's crazy. Like, I'm gonna let you know my thoughts as well as I would love to know yours. Let's assess what we're looking at here. Okay. And people are gonna say, "Oh, you're gonna judge a book by its cover." I mean, if somebody's walking up on you with a ski mask and a blicky, are you gonna be like, "Oh, that's he's trying to just give me a hug?" Like yes, I have eyes when and blessed to be able to see. If you have that blessing, utilize it. Of course, don't treat people a certain type of way, whatever, but you want to use also your discernment and common sense. Like, and analyze the situation. So I don't know if that's her real hair. I hate to assume because it's not her real hair. She got sewing in there, and then also the lashes. Don't know if they're real or not. But again, this is all allegedly. Don't know, but just assuming. Okay, and she's tatted up. Now, of course, people can change. You could realize that tattooing is a sin, and then move on. Whatever the case is. Okay, not casting stones or anything like that. I'm just saying what it literally is. So I would assume she has feministic traits. And by that, I mean feminism traits and stuff like that, which ironically is masculine traits, right? Why is weave a masculine situation? I mean, it's just whenever I used to wear like wigs and weaves, it's crazy because I wouldn't actually feel beautiful. Like, it was crazy. Like, there was always this underlying feeling, like even though you get certain type of attention and stuff like that, it's like something just made it feel off. And I'm not saying that's masculine, but that's not feminine. It doesn't feel good. But with all that being said, I do have a book out, Melanated and Expecting. If you do enjoy content like this, then you'll enjoy the edification in that book, basically going over things if I had known would have avoided some consequences that I'm currently dealing with, but could have been worse. Yeah, but she seems like she's a part of the problem. Just saying. Okay, because it's ironic that she's hopping on here and she's asking this really serious question because it is true. You don't really hear about Asians going back and forth and battling with each other, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and answer this question for her. I don't know if she ever going to see this video. Share the video if you agree, but it is because of the white man. All right. Now people are gonna say, "Oh, black fatigue." Like, okay, go sit down and go have yourself a cup of tea. All right. And move ahead. If you really tired or something, you're not gonna sit there and try to entertain it and comment black fatigue and all this extra stuff. You wouldn't do it. You would be doing something else somewhere. You know what you're doing. It stems all the way back to I think it was the Willie Lynch letter. I haven't read it in its full entirety, but essentially don't really need to understand the gist of the situation. They were teaching how to break a slave, okay? And it's just like an uncomfortable topic. But essentially, men, has always been the agenda since our history. Even if you look in Exodus 1:7, Pharaoh didn't know Joseph. Okay, this is after Joseph passed away. He was cool with the old Pharaoh, and God blessed him greatly through all the tribulations, right? The new Pharaoh did not know him, saw the Hebrews and said, "They are getting strong. They are multiplying and multiplying because our wombs are blessed from God, okay? From Abraham being told by the Lord himself, a God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he told him to like count the stars. Like you can't, I mean, it's just like you was, and it was so beautiful, such a beautiful, beautiful thing that Abraham experienced with our father. He literally like, can you imagine God saying, count the stars, count the stars, my son. That's how many, that's how much your seed is going to be throughout this land, right? And he's counting the seed, the stars. So we were a mighty, mighty people, and Pharaoh had to do something. He felt like he had to do something to stop us from multiplying so much. So throughout history, we have always been a target in every nationality, in every land. Okay. And today is no different. History is repeating itself. Like they target our men, buck breaking. They used to the slave masters, men used to do things in front of the wife and the youths in these families. And the reason they did that is psychological, aka a worldly way of saying spiritual warfare. Okay. Your mind is a powerful thing. Can you imagine the thoughts that are going through somebody's mind if you as a wife, if you're a woman watching this, a wife or even like girlfriend or whatever the case, you see your man being spread open. There's a picture tied and being done, to even like talk about it is like that happened and in front of your youth at that type of you know what that does to your psyche, how I wouldn't be surprised if some women and some youths went crazy. Just had that image, like, can you imagine somebody you love, a man that you love, that type of torture being done to them, and then people gonna talk about some black fatigue? We didn't even get reparation. But anyway, this is the same thing, but in a mental way as well, but done differently, okay? They're always, always, if you look in movies, in order for a black man to get high, he gotta wear lipstick and a wig. And God already told us that we are not, men are not supposed to wear what pertains to women and vice versa. He already let us know this, right? And there's a reason for that. But the reason why these gender wars keep happening is like this top comment says, divide and conquer. A woman looks at her husband getting buck break, of course she's gonna feel so like so many different emotions, but that automatically destroys the family because the man isn't going to feel like a man. And what are happening with a lot of these men? They're getting raised by single moms. They're more feminine. And now it's just a system that we're constant bickering and headbutting. Women are trying to be men, men are trying to be women. And now it's just breaking people apart. Your family after that is never the same. Okay, like there's a reason. Even in slavery, what did they do when the white people had, you know, defiled the women, the slaves, and gave birth to mixed youths, those lighter counterparts, those lighter youth. And besides that, because Rebecca gave birth to both Esau and Jacob, because we can create just about we can create all the colors. But those, whatever, however it was brought up, however the woman had given birth, the lighter they were, the chances they were inside of the house. That's another way. Can you imagine you're a slave and you see the lighter slaves being able to use restrooms or in the house, or maybe I don't know if that was like that. Every plantation probably was different. But can you imagine the feeling of being in the hot sun? It's beating on you. Picking cotton is tedious. Then on top of that, you have an overseer. You're moving too slow, like all loud and annoying. Okay, like you what do you what do you think? How do you think that would feel? It it will ultimately create a divide amongst people because there was a comment on one of like my content, and she or he said it well. They were like, black people eternalized it, and they knew what they were doing. I saw this science study, or whatever the case is, talk about how stress is transferred through sperm. Okay, science is basically them trying to figure out what God created, but I can see like stress being transferred through generation through generation through generation. It's called generational curses. Like, they always try to overcomplicate something that is just all of it is spiritual. A lot of y'all out there, you have to admit, even me, Jamaicans prejudice. You hear it in their song, "Browning, Browning." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they open with it. Okay? But you see that that's something that you're raised on, and it can, unless you wanna, unless you humble yourself and wake up and break free from it, you're gonna be in this loop of destroying yourself because they had trained our ancestors to hate themselves because they wanted to disseminate our people and own everything from. There's a reason they didn't want us to read. So I know that was kind of like it went to the left. I mean, it kind of just went a little deep. I know that kind of went a little deep, but this woman may be a part, definitely, allegedly, because I don't know her personally. I don't know what she's about. She could. I'm not saying she's not like a cool person or anything like that in the tuck or whatever, but just by looking at her, the vibe, I could tell she's a part of the problem. Okay. Like, the reason why we are always in these gender wars is because we lit. Like, your hater is always gonna have your name in their mouth. Like, they're always gonna be plotting and planning on ways to be better than you, on ways to copy you. Like, they take our melanin, like, to clone it, but you can't, like. Yeah, so it says oh, look, comment says, "Slave plantation mentality, divide and conquer, plain and simple." Just to be real, this other comment says, "Just to be real, other cultures are raised to be husband and wives, as simple as that." That's true. That's true. Our culture, we got movies like Baby Boy, we got things. Bless you. We got movies, the hood movies from the what is it with Ice Cube? I forgot. I mean, I'm not saying these aren't entertaining, great acting and whatnot, but these are the movies that are rooted in our culture, and as entertaining as they were, taught whole generations. You know, it taught of and it then it also taught other nationalities that that's how all of us are, and that's not the case. But with all that being said, I hope that you were edified, but it's plain and simple. Divide and conquer. They've done this. It's intricate and complicated, even from the black women getting fired, laid off left and right in the hundreds of thousands, and they're hiding the real numbers. But they're done using black women as pawns against black men. And now the black men are so pissed off at the black women that they're not trying to get married. They looking at AI like up and down, women too, vibrators. But that's a whole nother topic. Actually, that is a whole nother topic. All praises to the most high. Okay, create that relationship with our father. We have this amazing opportunity through his son, okay, to be able to live with the royal family, to live with royalty for eternity. All right, forever and ever. Stay sober minded in these spiritual streets. Peace.